I am only imagining because we have tried to get her to really dig them jiggers, and she just won't do that. And as we know, Rise Up Society will continue helping somebody as the solution is sought for, because we represent the voice for the voiceless. We give that voice to those who would never be heard, whose plight would always be with them until maybe they die. Those are the people we are called to give a voice to. And so, as we look for solutions, we don't really stop the help. We make sure that at least the person has been solaced, has received something, some form of support, as we seek out for sustainable help for them. We have a lot of people and even organizations that would come and make a survey about the condition of somebody like Teresa and write a report about that and go away. We try to avoid that because that's not our mandate. We are not a research organization. We don't do surveys. We don't do research. We simply help. We know research is important, and it is really in line with the sustainable, big-time, long-term helps. Things that would bring lasting solutions in a massive way. And we are willing to engage in research and development so that we can get a lasting solution to these menace. We really have been praying and writing proposals to organizations that could help empower us to do research in this field of jiggers. And we haven't succeeded, but we don't wait. As we wait for help to come with regards to research and development, we are already offering the little we can offer, and we have so far seen what we saw. With even the cases that were so desperate and hopeless, springing forth and becoming better. And so we're encouraged by the results we see. That is the food we feast upon and keep on going. And so Teresa has at least one person who could help, but they don't do that. And because it's not within our calling to judge, we don't judge people. Because judgment precedes sentence. And we don't sentence people because a judge must also sentence you to a given punishment. And those people who judge others will always pass some form of sentence which is not really favorable, with the motive of punishing. So when you judge, you must know that you also pass judgment, because you don't judge and just sit there. After you have done the analysis of the case at hand, you must sentence. You must pass sentence. And when you pass the sentence as a judge, it means you're done with the case. You hand over to another authority, to the prisons department, to the correctional services. You don't again go and you become a prison warder or a prison officer. No, you hand over the victim of your judgment to somebody else to deal with them, so that now your hands are washed, although they can never be clean. When somebody has been imprisoned, they can forget everything else, but they will never forget the judge who sat on the bench and passed that judgment. And most of the times they will feel, this person shouldn't have done this to me. Look at how I'm now separated from my family. Look at how much I'm now suffering because of this judgment that was meted upon me by that judge. Very few people will look at their sentence they've been given and really understand that it is fair. They deserved that. Very few people. I have done visits to to prisons, and that's what I gather. You would hear somebody say, yes, I was wrong. I don't try to justify the mistake, but I feel I should have been given a fairer sentence. Nobody will say, very few, of course, we have those ones who can say that, but most of the people I've met always tell me this was too harsh. I know the mistake was there, but it was too harsh. I don't agree with the decision they made, and that is why we always get appeals. While somebody's inside, they will still make an appeal, and then we have the appellate courts and the appellate processes that seek to rescind the decisions, the judgments that were passed by that highly distinguished judge on that fateful court day. And so we know that there are people who should be helping Teresa. We know that. But they don't. So we then present ourselves and we stand in the gap. That is our calling. We are called to actually stand in the gap. And judgment is not within our jurisdiction. And that is why we don't ask a lot of questions. In fact, our questions come later on. After we have now finished with her, then we talk to them. And it's not like we don't try to train people on hygiene and these things. We do that because it supports our work. It makes our work easier when people have been taught hygiene, and so we teach them hygiene, and we try to encourage them to help those who are special cases like Teresa to be more hygienic by washing them, by advising them and helping them learn some routines, some simple routines like cleaning their own bodies. We do that. Sometimes we get somebody who is kind enough to follow on with what we have suggested, but sometimes we don't get that person, and what that means, what that implies, is that we will come back again to help again. The moment we hear the problem is still there, we must return again to help. And it has been like that. It has been like that. and we don't complain. We are grateful for it.
Ziwe safi, nguo nyeupe mno, umeoshwa kwa damu ya kondoo.